the half forward line.
Damon at centre. Ben is playing right half forward, so we get a look to see who's gone back right half back instead of Chris Finn. You can get a turn on the jersey. I just don't quite recognise the profile. He's picking up Conor Kelly is left half forward there. 12. So Conor Raggett is gone back wing back.
So ready to go. Lee Walker is standing in right on the end line. So and Aaron Forbes is there just in front of him, and Jack Byrne is to the left of Aaron Forbes.
And it is Ben Dempsey picking them up.
So ready to go. The first of the Laois Shopping Centre Senior Football Championship semi-finals is underway for 2023. Portlaoise are under attack straight away through Damon Larkin. He bursts through. He's up to the 21. Looked to be a foul. The referee hasn't signalled. That's eventually signalled. Mark Timmins was the player, I think, that was tackling Damon Larkin. First chance for Portlaoise in the score. Good start. Shane O'Neill went for a jump, didn't get it, and Damon went a run down the middle. I saw Garrett actually vacating the full forward position just to leave him run through on goals. I'd say it's a planned move. Mark almost had to foul him because he got by him. He was through on goals. He did so. Paul Cahalane stands over this. Will have the aid of a slight breeze. He's going to put it onto his left boot just in front of the referee. As you said, Cahalane stands up and the umpires are having a look, and it is the first score of the game. Good start for Portlaoise, and they'll need to take all their chances as well today. So, kick out from the goalkeeper, Danny Marr. The short option is not on, so he has to go long out here in front of his it's going towards Ben Dorgan, but there it's picked up by number 6, who's David Seal. He has McAvoy to his left, but doesn't use him. Instead, he has to check back, and he checks back to Colin McAvoy. Colin McAvoy then to Kevin Swain. Kevin Swain's under a bit of pressure from Conor Kelly, but he's able to jink away, and he gets it up between the 45 and the 65. Now he's up to the 45 is Swain. Garrett Dillon onto his left, but bit of a hostile pass. It didn't work out, and Graiguecullen are able to win back possession. Conor Kelly and Aaron Dorgan combine. Now it's Ben Dorgan, man who made a transfer into the club, and he's way back in his own half back line. Mark Timmins is telling him to go over to the far side of the field, and that's where he does. He goes out to Owen Aylesbury. Replaced Keane Lawler at the Aylesbury, came on in the win over Collection, and he makes the start here. So training obviously going very well for him. Mikey Horn now, he gives it back to Aylesbury, and we can hear the Graiguecullen Ultras are in full voice. It's like being
Portlaoise Ultras.
And I don't know. It's one of them anyway. It's like being in a Premiership ground. But anyways, back to the action. Graiguecullen have given the ball away. Garrett Dillon up to the 45. Garrett Dillon looks for Ricky Marr. Gives to Ricky Marr. Ricky Marr looked to hit onto his right boot, a right foot of effort for Ricky Marr, and a good score. We just said keeping possession is so important in football these days. Graiguecullen gave it away, and Portlaoise capitalised.
It is capitalised. Look, a nice loop he ran there. I would suggest he ran too many steps, but that's for the referee to decide. Portlaoise are vacating the full forward position. They're leaving it wide open in there.
Yeah, we've gone long with the kick out again. Danny Marr, and that's time. Graiguecullen have won it through Shane O'Neill. As I said in commentary the last time out, he was a Hogan Cup winner at Knockbay College in 2005. So he's plenty of experience. Lee Walker gets his hands the first time on the ball. He gives it back to Dorgan, back to O'Neill. O'Neill is looking for options. Out to his right is Jamie Sheen, but Ben Dorgan gets it again. Sheen is still there right beside him if he needs, and Portlaoise have plenty of bodies behind. They have 12 bodies behind, and McAvoy now has it, and he tackles Jamie Sheen. Couple of heavy hits, and Jamie Sheen still has it, and he taps it on his toe. He's looking for options, and that option is straight through the middle, and that's Shane O'Neill. He's held by a good tackle from Portlaoise backs, and Aaron Forbes under a little bit of pressure gets to this, and he's heavily tackled by Ben Dempsey. Aaron Forbes still has it. He's up around the 21-yard line, heavily tackled again, Shane O'Neill, and they've made a couple of heavy tackles, and it's going to be a Portlaoise body, and it's David Seal who wins it. Seal out to Colin McAvoy. Colin McAvoy to the goalkeeper, Conor Brown. Conor Brown then gives it to Mikey Dowland. Mikey Dowland has to give it back to his goalkeeper, and Graiguecullen now are just funneling the numbers back, as they'd say, and David Seal gives it to the goalkeeper, and no one picked up the goalkeeper coming out the field, and Conor Brown now has it. He launches a big one inside. That big one inside to Benny Carroll. Benny Carroll has a lot of work to do over on the far terrace side of the park side, apartment side of the pitch, but he gives it back, and he comes back, and he's looking on the loop straight away, and he's looking maybe to recycle the ball, and Benny Carroll won't give too many possessions away anyways, so he gives it to Colin McAvoy up from the half back line. Garrett Dillon's to his left if he want. Gardilla might try and cut inside, and Gardilla now takes it, looks for the pass. What's on? Has to give it back out to Colin McFly. They're running inside to Ben Redden. Ben Redden is better run inside, but no one's able to see him. Graiguecullen have it fairly well blocked up. They have 13 players nearly behind the car. Benny Carr with a pass, lovely pass from Benny Carr to Seal up to the 45, 21 to the 45. Seal going to have a shot, wouldn't be really known for having a shot, but he gives it out to the shooters. Ricky Marr on the right hand side. It's a great score, great patience from Portlaoise.
Great patience. Another run on the loop from Ricky onto that right foot. There was I'd call it a clash off the ball. It's more an accident, a collision off the ball with one of the Graig players is down. I can't quite see who it is at the minute.
Yeah, Danny Marr goes long with that kick out over to Daniel O'Reilly. He got plenty of joy against Kaleshin on that same wing the last day, and he's after getting that kick out to Ben Dorgan, big long tall player, and he'll look to get plenty of position from them kick outs if he can. Lee Walker gets his second touch of the game, back out to O'Reilly. Walker hasn't had a shot in anger so far, but I'm sure he will get plenty of chances. Mikey Horn and O'Reilly all back to Jamie Sheen, and over Conor Kelly's over here in front of us, and it reaches Conor Kelly. Conor Kelly's up to the 45, gives the pass inside to O'Neill. Shane O'Neill maybe for the first Graiguecullen score. No, it's gone out to the left and wide, first wide of the game.
Yeah, Shane timed his run very well through, just didn't get the finish he wanted. It's the first time they've had a real shot at goals.
Yeah, short kick out from Conor Brown to Garrett Dillon. Garrett Dillon uses all his pace. He seems to have recovered from an Achilles injury that kept him out of the earlier rounds of the championship. He came on in the O'Dempsey's game as well, but fit to start here today. Ben Dempsey gives that ball to David Seal, and really, Donnacha, if you were Kevin Fitzpatrick 5.5 minutes in, you'd be extremely happy.
Oh yeah, they're controlling the tempo, as I said before the game. It's what Portlaoise do. They're happy. Here we go.
And have a goal chance. Damon Larkin with a goal chance. Go! No! Just about to say that was in the back of the net. Comes back out to David Seal. Was he fouled? Referee said no, and Graiguecullen have got away with it. Looked to be a certain goal. Killer pass inside by David Seal to Damon Larkin, and the shot crashed off the butt of the post, came back out to David Seal, but Graiguecullen were able to swallow him up, and they've got away with that one. They're back on the attack through Aaron Dorgan to Jamie Sheen. They're up to the 45. They're looking to get out of their own half if they can, and try and get themselves onto the scoreboard. 6.5 minutes or so the clock reads. Mikey Horn is over on the far side of the pitch to Conor Kelly. Kelly is switching from wing to wing, trying to make his marker follow him the whole way as well. Mikey Horn now, he's over in the terrace side of the field. It was said Ben Dempsey picking up Lee Walker, so that's the obvious threat. Lee Walker, or Ben Dempsey picked up Mark Barry in the previous game against the Dempseys as well, and done a fine job on him, so he gets the job of marking all the key players. Shane O'Neill has it now. Graiguecullen need to be patient. They need to try and get themselves onto the scoreboard. Daniel O'Reilly, he goes by Kieran McFoy. He went by Garrett Dillon, and it's a shot in anger, but that just tailed out to the left hand side and wide. Portlaoise backs are being very, very patient. They're not lunging in whatsoever.
No, they're standing, and you see likes of Ben Dempsey there from Minsko standing up. Aaron Forbes, they're very happy to defend 1-on-1. I see Jason Ryan trying to urge his players up the field and into position to form the attack and to move that defence around the place if possible. Yeah,
Conor Brown with a kick out to Damon Larkin. Larkin has got the better of Aaron Dorgan. Larkin has a bit of pace. He's on that run. It's up to between the 21 to 45. He has Paul Cahalane outside him if he wants. He gives it to Cahalane. Cahalane looks up. Nice little ball inside to Benny Carroll. Benny Carroll, Ricky Marr is fouled, but Benny Carroll now has a chance to advantage, says the referee. I think Benny Carroll is still going for the goal chance. Goal chance to Benny Carroll. Fantastic goal from Benny Carroll. He had a serious amount of work to do. They had the advantage. Ricky Marr is fouled. Lovely ball from Paul Cahalane into Benny Carroll, and he'd under rest.
The move was fabulous. Ricky Marr was timing his run perfect, and he got fouled, and then Benny had all sorts of work to do. He had 2 men to beat and the keeper, and he managed to find a way to do it. Fabulous goal. Fabulous goal.
1-3 to no score. Just 8 minutes on the clock here in O'Moore Park. Portlaoise, as he said, they don't go away very, very lightly, and at the minute they're on their way back. I know it's early doors yet, but they look good to reach another county final in 2 weeks' time. Graiguecullen, though, I'm sure will have plenty to say about that over the next 50 minutes or so. Conor Kelly free, and seems to be a little bit of a pull on Ben Dorgan. They need a score to settle him.
They need to score to settle them. They're full of nerves. But Portlaoise are just playing solid football. Here we go.
Yeah, Lee Walker wasn't going to go with that. He gave the ball to Jack Byrne. Jack Byrne will jink. He's going for goal. That's a great response. Fantastic ball from Lee Walker into Jack Byrne. Jack Byrne, as he does, he makes that little jinky turn, buried it past Conor Brown.
What an answer. What an answer to say they're here. Perfect time for that goal to come. This will wake the whole game up now. 8 minutes, 42 seconds, and we've a goal to goal and 3.
Absolute cracking start to this first ever double header. Portlaoise lead 1-3 to a goal. Conor Brown goes long. Shane O'Neill and Kieran McVire in the middle, but it's won by Kevin Swain. Kevin Swain has Damon Larkin out if he needs it. He gives it to Larkin. Larkin looks around, looks for options, has to give it back to Swain. There's 2 players inside, and Larkin goes long with that into Ricky Marr. Ricky Marr stands back hoping it goes over the head either the defender, and Ricky Marr still has it. Mark Timmins tries to stand him up. It's Timmins versus Marr. Ricky Marr still going. He's up these. He hits the deck. Referee looking at Mick Tarpey. He said no, play away. Ricky Marr's looking for the free, and Graiguecullen are on the road again. On the road to Aaron Dorgan. Aaron Dorgan to Danny O'Reilly. Dicey to call him, and gives it to Jack Byrne, the man who scored a goal a couple of moments ago. Graiguecullen look at that little bit more lively now. They're cutting in over the far side of the pitch as well. They're looking for their second score again. Mikey Horn is on the ball. Gives it to Conor Kelly. Conor Kelly back out to Jack Byrne. Jack Byrne looks for options. Out to Lee Walker. Hasn't had a shot in anger yet. Picked up there by Kieran McVie. Shane O'Neill runs into Kieran McVie. McVie maybe looking to feel that Shane O'Neill was barged into him, but we play on through Daniel O'Reilly. Riley looks to get it on. He looks to swing it, get it back, and it's surely a foul. And Kevin Swain was there. Good defence from Portlaoise.
Oh, great. They're not lunging in. They're standing them up. But I will say, like, Greg are going to have to figure out how to take on those one-on-ones and actually get through for a score. They're able to play it out around. That's fine, and it's good to have a good shape on how they're attacking. They've good width, but they need to figure out how to take on those one-on-ones and beat them.
Yes, so action resumes. Short ball to Conor Brown. Conor Brown then went to his full-back Aidan McGovern. McGovern played a junior football final a couple of years ago, and he's made his way full back onto the senior team. So he's come up through the ranks. So Portlaoise are back on the attack again through Colin McVie. Graiguecullen have everyone behind the ball at the moment, so they're looking to maybe win that possession and maybe make the break. And Aaron Forbes is trying to press, but the goalkeeper Conor Brown makes his way a couple of times now. He's come up along the field. Here's Kevin Swain, takes on Shane O'Neill, gets by. Now he's Daniel O'Reilly to get by as well. Still going, it's Kevin Swain, the hero of the last day, to Kieran McVie, the captain. McVie out to Garrett Dillon. Garrett Dillon looking to make inroads to Mark Timmins. Timmins put in a heavy tackle and Dillon hit the deck, and it seems that Graiguecullen, it's a bit of a schmozzle in there trying to win the ball, but it's Colin McVie coming. I think it was Benny Carroll that was able to get Paul Cahalan with the pass. Cahalan with the pass to number 12 Conor Raggett, and he fouled, and the referee says he was. And Portlaoise are just playing that nice little dinky ball in Donegal. It's extremely dangerous.
You have the likes of Paul Cahalan there with his experience and knowledge. You see that pass all day long. Lovely ball over the top. I think it was Mark Timmins, maybe. It was Mark. He caught him high. He didn't mean to, but he just caught him high, and that's the free in right hand around the neck.
Mark Timmins is not getting the same space up the field as he did the last day.
No. Portlaoise will have. They'll kind of in-game manage it, sort of thing, rather than one person specifically targeting them.
So Paul Cahalan stands over this. He's looking for his second score of the game, and he duly obliges, and it just nudges his Kevin Fitzpatrick's team further in front. 12 minutes, 1-4 to a point. The scores: the Benny Carroll goal, Ricky Marr with 2 points and Paul Cahalan with 2, and the sole score for Graiguecullen, as I said, the last won a championship in 1965, a long time, and they'll be hoping to maybe do it this year, but they need to get a little bit more from their players so far. They're back on the attack. Aaron Dorgan kicked the kick pass inside to Conor Kelly. Bounced in front of Conor Kelly, and he done well to get a hand on it to Daniel O'Reilly. O'Reilly would not with the best pass in the world to Lee Walker. Lee Walker had a lot to do, and Ben Dempsey was there as well, and Lee Walker's not getting much space here at all. Portlaoise come again. Kieran McVie gives that pass over the far side of the field to Conor Raggett, and it's Ben Redden who's on it now to McAvoy, and the captain comes marching through the middle between the 45 and the 65. He hits the deck, and they'll have to recycle the play. Colin McAvoy's here in front of us if they want. He's screaming for the ball, but Paul Cahalan is over there. He chips the ball up to Benny Carroll. Beautiful chip up from using his Glasgow Celtic soccer,
I think so,
skills there. Portlaoise still have a Colin McAvoy still here in front of me, still arms in the air looking for the ball, but Conor Raggett now has it, and he takes it on, and Kevin Swain has it. So they might eventually use Colin McAvoy if they want. Swain, I don't know why he went soloed into a tackle, not the most obvious thing to do, but they've got away with it. Damon Larkin now with an effort and goal. Damon Larkin with a good score. Just nice and patient, nothing rushed. He did get away with that soloing the ball into the tackle, but they've made some start.
Yeah, they have. But I would think Kevin is trying to draw some defenders there, so it frees up space for a shot for Damon, and it did. And Damon, lovely point off the right foot.
Yeah, short. Greg have gone short through the kick out now to Trevor Collins, captain of the team, and they work the ball through a number of players, and Mark Timmins is there, and Mikey Horn is on the ball, and Ben Dorgan, number 11, has to come very deep now with the ball, and Collins, they'll try to get the likes of Trevor Collins on the ball, making them runs further, and so Mark Timmins, but just not happening for them at the minute. Plenty of time, of course, only 14 minutes. Ricky Marr involved with a little bit of a skirmish with Aaron Dorgan, and Aaron Dorgan hits the deck, but game is still on. Jack Byrne now the chance, the goal scorer. He thinks left and right, thinks nice little pass at Lee Walker. Goal chance Lee Walker, first chance for Lee Walker, and Forbes is there and they bundle the ball into the back of the net. They're very, very dangerous when they get going.
Very dangerous. Aaron Forbes has been a bit frustrated inside there early. He's been looking for the ball to be kicked into him earlier. I looked at this thing on the laptop here. There was a nothing. I was coming together here as a nothing. I don't think Mick Tarpey will do anything about it.
But Jack Byrne is causing huge problems for the Portlaoise defence.
And look, class the way he flicked that ball out to the side there over to Forbes. He could have tried to shot himself off and the player would be tempted to, but he flicked it out to Forbes, and there's no doubt about Forbes finishing it.
Yeah, Mark Timmins wins that break, and definitely the Graiguecullen crowd are starting to really get up now, and they've won a free. Jack Byrne, he was fouled by Mikey Dowling, and they're really starting to come into the game. It's taken them a long time, but they're still not 2 goals to 1-5, and they'll be happy enough.
They will be happy. They'll be happy that the 2 goals have kept them there, but are they going to keep getting goals like that to keep them, relevant in the game? Portlaoise will stay tipping away, and that's going to be the... Greg will have to wake up now with a little bit more from play, from points and so on. Goals do win games, they said.
Yeah, we did see Mark Timmins come up the field a little bit more, so maybe that is the thing that he might operate maybe around the midfield area just to try and get himself into the game as well.
Well, if he comes up, someone has to watch him. It causes a distraction at least, so it frees up room for someone else.
Yeah, Damon Larkin is picking him up at the minute, so Graiguecullen do have a free. Danny Marr stands over this. We've seen a bit of a coming together between the 4th official and the Graiguecullen management as well over the Ricky Marr incident, but it's gone out to the left-hand side and wide. I make that the 3rd wide of the game. Donnchadh, they need to take them chances.
They do need to take those chances. That's a pity now that I missed that. That Ricky Marr thing, I wouldn't even call it an incident really. They just ran into each other, and the Graig fella went down relatively easy, I would suggest.
Everyone looking for a black card in the stand, yeah. As they all do now. So we're back underway. Referee Mick Tarpey has seen a coming together between Ben Dempsey and Lee Walker just on the Portlaoise 65-yard line, so he's given him a free there. Kevin Swain stands over this. He has to go back, and he goes back to his number 7 who is Colin McAvoy, and he goes back to Aidan McGovern, and Mikey Dowling is to the right of him if he wants, but no, he goes straight to the middle to Kieran McAvoy, the captain, picked up by Shane O'Neill. McAvoy and his Damon Larkin free over here and to our left, and that's who he picks out, and Larkin was free. And Mark Timmins now stands back and tries to size him up, and I'm sure he'll look to stand him up as well, but he gives it to Benny Carroll. Benny Carroll has been so influential for Portlaoise in this championship, and he gives it back to Larkin. Larkin now to Colin McAvoy, and Colin McAvoy looked to punch a hole in the Graiguecullen defence if they can, but Portlaoise have been very, very patient for the last 17 minutes or so, and they'll want to continue that because it's been very effective from David Seal there was a rumour that he might have been picked up an injury coming into the game, but now he has a chance for a score. Right foot of effort from David Seal, and it looks good, and that's a good score. Once again, patience is paying off.
Yeah, the shooting's very good. I don't think they've picked a wide, have they?
No, they haven't.
Let's see, Ben Dempsey took a wander up the field there now. Not sure if Lee Walker particularly wants to be behaving like a cornerback.
No, I doubt it, and that kick out then went long from Danny Marr, but it was picked up by Kieran McAvoy. Yeah, Ricky Marr is free inside, and Ricky Marr now is on the ball. He takes he's Mikey Horn picking him up now, but he did get away from him for a second. Now he kicks onto his right hand side on the 30-metre line. Ricky Marr could be the first wide of the game. Noah's dropped short. Benny Carroll there in possession with Trevor Collins, but the Graiguecullen man comes away with possession, and Mark Timmins is on the ball now. The clock hits 18 minutes here in the Moore Park. Timmins is looking for option, looking for someone to take the game by the scruff of the neck. Poor ball though, and it's gone out for a sideline ball. Uncharacteristic from Mark Timmins, out to Ben Dorgan, too much height on it, and the big man wasn't able to get his hands to it, and Portlaoise have been handed back possession again through Colin McAvoy. McAvoy to Cahalane being picked up by Owen Aylesbury. As I said earlier in commentary, that Owen Aylesbury came on in the Collection game, and he's retained his place, and Here comes Mikey Dowling. Mikey Dowling now is up to halfway into the Graiguecullen half, looking for the runner off the shoulder. That's Kieran McFay. McFay has to check back and he has to recycle the ball again. Portlaoise been very patient. We've said that so many times in the last 18 and a half minutes. We have to note, Donegal, it's the first time, two goals are the first time the Portlaoise been breached in the championship.
Yeah. No better men than Greg to do it. But as I said, like Portlaoise are just so comfortable here. They're so comfortable to move it around, play it patient. They're comfortable on the ball.
Do you press up?
We're going to have to do something to get the ball back here now. But Portlaoise are happy for you to do that. They have the little mechanisms and moves in their game to punish you when you do press up.
Yeah, Garrett Dillon goes through and that's exactly it. He's won the free off Aaron Dorgan and going to take Ricky Marr is going to stand over this.
The shot Ricky took that didn't go quite wide there, it was the first erratic sort of shot that Portlaoise took. You know, it's been very, very professional type performance out of them so far.
Yeah, Ricky took a couple of inches with that one further up the field, and it's his goalkeeper, Conor Brown. Portlaoise scored 5-42 in the championship, only conceded 41 points coming into today's game. Graiguecullen, on the other hand, scored 736 and conceded 235. So, as we said, the Portlaoise goal has been breached twice in the 20 minutes, the only time that has been happening in the championship. Up steps Conor Brown. Free for him, doesn't connect with it, gets to Ricky Marr, or Ricky Marr might be able to jink onto his right foot. Ricky Marr onto his right, no, just dropped short for Ricky Marr. 2 chances in a row now. The Portlaoise haven't been able to convert, and Graiguecullen will be happy enough to come away with possession. To Timmins, Ricky Marr goes to tackle him, but Timmins is able to work it, and he works it through the hands with Sean McGrath. Now Timmins is further up that field. That pass inside to Forbes. Just came at him maybe a bit of quick. I think his footing mightn't have been right when the ball was coming at him, but he wasn't able to get the hand to it. Tried to stop with the foot and it bounced off his leg. Here's Cahalane. Cahalane back into the Graiguecullen half over on the terrace side of the field. Portlaoise once again patient personified as they've had in the first half of the game. David Seal has McAvoy to his left if he wants him. McAvoy's still going to make the run, but Seal happy enough pass inside to Benny Carroll. Benny Carroll been picked up by Trevor Collins, and Benny Carroll, as I said, he's been very influential for his team so far in the championship, and they look for him again today. He recycles that ball to McAvoy. McAvoy right foot a shot from the captain, and that's the third one in a row that Portlaoise haven't. And I'm sure Kevin Fitzpatrick had just seen him look to the rest of his management team, probably a little bit frustrated there.
Has to be. You know, they were going so well. No, look, they're still leading and everything else, but just to come away with nothing from 3 attacks, it'll probably frustrate them all right. Yeah,
Sean McGrath on the ball. 1-6 to 2 goals. 21 minutes are gone, and Graiguecullen will look to raise a white flag shortly. Lee Walker now with a pass inside to Jack Bernard, pass inside and to Conor Kelly, or Jack Bernard was, and it just went out to left hand side wide. 4th wide for Greg.
I'd say it was one of those shot or kicks that was between a shot and a pass, and did neither.
Yeah, short kick out from Conor Brown at the edge of the D to Aidan McGovern. Once again, the build-up is slow, Donegal, but Portlaoise are just looking to punch holes in the Graiguecullen defence and run at an angle.
Yeah, they're bringing the Greg defence to a place and then waiting for that space to appear inside. It's all quite clever. You see them be very pedestrian walking here in the middle of the field to leave that space in behind. Yes. Ben Dempsey's happy to take another little foray up the field there from time to time, but
it's only Benny Carroll inside, and then I see Sean McGrath acting as a sweeper inside the D, and Ricky Marr is just under the scoreboard. So Portlaoise are happy enough that they'll just hold the ball and try and get bodies up whenever they're ready with the ball. So build up again from Portlaoise. Kevin Swain, as we said, look, they're trying to punch them holes, and they do now with Garrett Dillon. They've punched a couple there. So Paul Cahalane, he's looking. First thing Paul Cahalane does every time is look up into Ricky Marr. Ricky Marr takes on Mark Timmins, and Marr has to recycle and come back around. He's up to the 45, and now he has to go further back out the field, and I think he'll be happy enough, and he'll go back out to Mikey Dowling.
If you look, what you see is Portlaoise, most teams talk about vacating the D, they're actually vacating the space inside the 40. They all come back out outside the 40 and they start again, and now they start injecting pace into that space.
Yeah, and it's with Kevin Swain. Lee Walker, as you already mentioned, he won't like being down on his own 45-yard line. The more time he spends down there, the less chance that he has of getting on the scoreboard. He's the top scorer in the championship so far. And now it's David Seal to Ben Dempsey. And Ricky Marr is inside on his own, and he's found Ricky Marr. Mark Timmins now has a bit of work to do to get up to him. Ricky Marr looking to take him on. He has him onto his left, gets back under the right boot. Now to Garrett Dillon. Garrett Dillon now is up 30. Left foot of effort from Garrett Dillon just wasn't going to work. I think he probably needs to recycle. Good defence from Greg.
Look, Mark Timmins is probably one of the best one-on-one defenders we have had in the county for years upon years. Garrett tried to settle himself to get the left-footed shot away there, but it just didn't get enough, didn't wrap the foot around it enough, I suppose.
So there's no real short options for Graiguecullen from the kick out. So Danny Marr goes long with it again on top of Forbes. Aaron Forbes is down with it and battled with Dave McGovern. McGovern got a hand to it and picked up by Ben Dempsey. Ben Dempsey hit hard by Jamie Sheen, but now on comes Kevin Swain. He is Ben Redden to his right if he needs it, but Swain is happy enough to keep going. Ben Dorgan is up with him. Swain still has it. Ben Redden is still looking for it, but now Colin McAvoy makes their run. Colin McAvoy through the centre. Is there a goal chance? Gives it to Ricky Marr. Ricky Marr straight away, didn't even look, I don't think, from Ricky Marr, straight over the bar. Good score.
No, it was a no-look kick there from Ricky. Great score. I thought Colin McAvoy didn't want to shoot there as such. He could have shot himself, but Ricky came on that loop again. That's the third loop from Ricky. Third
score from Ricky Marr, and they make that 113 in the third championship now for the attacker. He's their top scorer. Paul Cahalan is second best on 2-6, and then it's followed by Damon Larkin and Kieran Lillis. Of course, no Kieran Lillis in the Portlaoise team today. Will we see him at some stage? Remains to see him. Told he's picked up a foot injury before the Dempsey's game, so that's a huge blow for them, but they're doing okay without him at the minute. David Seal sends forward over on the far side away as well. That forward is Conor Raggett on the right hand boot, and just didn't look comfortable over there. That's gone out to the right hand side away.
A right footed kick from the right side, and from that side it would have to be very accurate. The space to for that to be a success to be quite small. No,
so 25 minutes have elapsed. That was Portlaoise's second wide of the game. I make it Graiguecullen now 4. This time it goes out to the middle again. I'm not sure that's where Danny Marr wanted to put it, because he shaped up as if it was going to go out in front of the stand, but Portlaoise have won the break. Won the Kevin Swain. He picked up a heavy knock after winning that break to Garrett Dillon, now to Ricky Marr. Ricky Marr picks up a couple of challenges. Sean McGrath has one. Dillon has now. Gets through Aaron Dorgan. Lee Walker's there. Lee Walker puts in a huge hit as well, and we'll see what the referee has done. Mick Tarpey from Kilcavan. And Ricky Marr, is he involved in a little bit of afters? I just missed it, but the crowd are not happy. We might see it on the monitor in front of us. I know the linesman Tom Kennedy.
Heads came together.
The linesman Tom Kennedy from Collection. I'm not sure you'd see that many time in many games. But we'll see what the interpretation of the referee is. Linesman is Tom Kennedy from Collection, and he's in conversation with the referee, Michael Tarpey. There was definitely a coming together of the heads. Was it enough to warrant an offence? We will just see. Mick Tarpey is telling players to calm down. Trevor Collins is there talking with him, the Graiguecullen captain. So is Mikey Horn. And I think it might be just a bit of a cooling off period, is it?
I'd say so.
Yeah, he seems to be telling players just to calm down.
Yeah, Ricky wants to mind himself now a little bit. I thought that was... I understand Lee Walker kind of came in later on a tackle there after the foul, but
so we're back underway. There was nothing, no offence arisen according to the referee, so we're back underway. Kevin Swain now to Ben Redden. Ben Redden up to the D. Redden looks to get into his left boot, gives it to Garrett Dillon. He already just had a wide a couple of moments ago, and Dillon now is probably not in the scoring zone and gives it back out to Redden. Colin McAvoy is free, you have to see him, but Paul Cahalan to Colin McAvoy. McAvoy, there's plenty of Portlaoise players, including the goalkeeper, up in the Graiguecullen half, and this time it's Ben Dempsey who gets a bit of free joy over on the terrace side of the field. Now he brings into the middle, and Kieran McAvoy made a run, but the run was cut off, and David Seal now is the player who is in possession of the ball. Benny Carroll is out there looking for it, and David Seal will have to come back. Benny Carroll has been picked up by Mark Timmins over there. Jack Byrne is trying to get the better of Seal, and Benny Carroll has it now, and Conor Brown the goalkeeper. So all the Portlaoise players getting their hands on possession. This time it's Mikey Dowling. They're just that happy just to run down that clock, Donegal. About 2.5 or so minutes to half time. They lead 1-7-2, 4 points to margin, and they would definitely, if you gave them that carrot at half time, I'm sure they'd accept it. Aidan McGovern with a nice little ball into Colin McAvoy. As you said, they're looking to punch them holes, and they have up to the 21. McAvoy has to give it back now to Benny Carroll. Benny Carroll looking to get onto his left boot. Was he fouled? No, the referee says he wasn't, and good defensive play from Graiguecullen. They stood it up well. They had to be patient. Ben Dorgan, the centre forward, wearing 11, he came away with that to Daniel O'Reilly. Daniel O'Reilly now looked to cut through the centre if he can through an angle, but he's going to be met with a couple of players. One of them is Damon Larkin to Shane O'Neill. No Graiguecullen forward inside Donegal. I don't know what they're going to do with this. They're going to have to work it in.
Yeah, Kieran Mack's gone running back there. There's 1-on-1 inside now between Forbes and Kieran Mack, but I see Ed McGovern is taking over then.
Yeah,
Portlaoise, Kieran McAvoy covered off the run for Aidan McGovern when he was busy tackling.
So Daniel O'Reilly, he tries to break through. He gives it to Walker, and a bit of a coming together between Kevin Swain and Ben Dempsey. The two Portlaoise players ran into each other. Ball from Lee Walker inside Aaron Forbes. It was a Hail Mary ball though, and Portlaoise had the three. It was a 3-on-1 situation, and in the end it's Conor Raggett who came away with it. And once again Portlaoise now are coming up the field. The clock reads a minute or so remaining in the first half. We'll see what injury time. There wasn't that many stoppages. Benny Carroll comes deep from that full forward position now out to midfield, and Cahalane is coming deep as well, and they're giving it to the goalkeeper, and Kevin Swain is to the left of Conor Brown if he wants him, but Conor Brown happy enough to give it to Garrett Dillon, and they might just try and wind down that clock now as it edges towards the 50 seconds or so remaining of the first half of normal time. Ben Dempsey now, he takes it on this time, and they look for options. Mark Timmins is just sitting in front of the D with no mark and no one either, so, and Ricky Maher is the only Portlaoise player that's in around the house, so Portlaoise looking to play the patient game again. A couple of hefty tackles chipped by Kieran McAvoy. Garrett Dillon all get their hands on it, and that's all they're doing. They're looking to get their hands on the ball.
But Graig can't. While Portlaoise are doing this, Graig can't. They're playing around when and they're all very comfortable. They're all very happy to hold the ball, keep the ball. And Graig can't hardly get even a tackle in.
Yeah. So David Seal under a bit of pressure from Jack Byrne. Jack Byrne working, but David Seal was able to get away, and on that time Graiguecullen worked hard in defence and they were able to get it. So it's 1 minute. 1 minute of additional time is what the fourth officials board has been raised here in Leashire and Moore Parks. He says the first of the doubleheader, the county champions 4 in a row, chasing Port Arlington, take on St Joseph's 3-1 outsiders. That takes place at 4:15. I'm not sure if too many people would say that St Joseph's are 3-1 outsiders. I think it's a little bit closer than that. But anyways, we've a game to go first, and it's Portlaoise, 35-time winners currently in complete control here in the first half. Daniel O'Reilly, 30 seconds of the injury time to remain, and Graiguecullen would love a score before the half time. They haven't raised a white flag in the 30 minutes yet, but the two goals from the boots of Aaron Forbes and Jack Byrne. They might get another score before the break. Aaron Dorgan now is up to the 21. Has Jack Byrne now. Byrne looking to get onto he's going to jink. Which boot will he go? He taps it to Mark Timmins. Timmins met with a heavy hit from Kieran McAvoy. I think it was a shoulder to shoulder according to the referee, and Timmins got up and he was able to win the ball back, and the time is receding away. Portlaoise should be happy enough now. The 14 players behind the ball. The only player up front is Ricky Maher. Everyone else is behind the ball, looking to eat into that turn. Big ball in from Aaron Dorgan, in around the house. Aaron Forbes is there. Aaron Forbes has won the ball, has to recycle the ball, has to give it back. He gives it back to Mikey Horn. But goal chance. Oh, great save from Conor Brown, and how crucial could that be? And Portlaoise come away with it, and that looks to be the last action of the game. I was looking for Graiguecullen to get a point. Nearly got a goal. I'm not sure it was a kick in. It was outside the 40. I think it wasn't outside the 40. He could have, just in front of. Yeah, it was from here. But yeah, you can imagine they could have had 3 goals, and that would have been their score, and then right back in it. But yeah, it's been a very controlled performance from Portlaoise. I see Josh standing a full forward. Josh should be traditionally a wing forward or wing back even. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. He's a tall fella. He's beginning to fill out. He's a fine fella, good footballer. I don't see any changes for Graiguecullen. Ben Dempsey's again picking up Lee Walker. The sun is facing into Conor Brown as well. So
Jamie Sheehan's not in the middle of the field for the throw-in. Or is it
Shane O'Neill has gone over to the far wing. He's gone to wing forward over the far side. So yeah, we did see Brian Byrne, we think, warming up, but he's not being used yet, and action is underway again, and 30 minutes or so we'll see which is the first team to book their place into the Laney Cup final in 2 weeks' time. Portlaoise are on the march straight away through Damon Larkin. Larkin met with a heavy tackle from Mark Timmins, and what a start. That's exactly what you want.
That's definitely a rehearsed move, same as the first half where Garrett Dillon vacated full forward. Josh Hogan immediately got with a full forward position, Damon onto the ball to run through, and this time he finished with a great score.
Yeah, super start for Kevin Fitzpatrick's Charges. His 4th year, I'm told, in charge of Portlaoise. 1-8 to 2 goals to lead. They are well in control again, and they've won that kick out. And Ben Redden, he started in the place of Chris Finn has it, and here comes Josh Hogan, the new man onto the field, and he'll be full of energy, you'd imagine. Garrett Dillon, who also started in place of Kieran Lillis. Fantastic servants to be able to bring into a club team, let alone anything else. So Portlaoise are back underway again. Graiguecullen have the defending numbers. Kieran McAvoy now playing a captain's role so far. Out to Ricky Marr. Ricky Marr looking for his 4th score of the game. Justin, it's an up and under to call it in the Rugby World Cup at the minute, but it's dangerous. Benny Carroll is in around it there as well. Trevor Collins dispossessed by Benny Carroll. Benny Carroll has it. Look to give the pass across the goal. Benny Carroll might have a second chance. Oh, just puts the ball over the bar. A quick glimpse of a goal chance again, Donnchadh.
Consternation in there. It was a great catch in the first place by Collins, but then he was dispossessed. A bit of ping pong then, and cool head on Benny to pop it over the bar in the end.
Yeah, and he made a nice dispossess on Trevor Collins as well.
Yeah.
So Trevor Collins is actually down on the ground. Mick Tarpey, the referee, has gone into the umpires. I'm not sure what he has seen or someone has seen, but Graiguecullen will be hoping that Trevor Collins gets back to his feet fairly quickly. And there looks to be no further action, whatever. The referee, Mick Tarpey from the Kilcavan club. His linesman is Tom Kennedy from Collection and Eugene Dowdle from Ballylinan.
I didn't see anything untoward in there in all of that anyway.
I think there may have been a question maybe about the legality of the score from Benny Carroll, maybe with all the bodies that were around the square, so maybe that's what he was just wondering about. But so Trevor Collins is back ready for more action. Danny Maher now, the goalkeeper, has short options if he adds some to his right, some to his left, but goes long with it instead. Out to Ben Dorgan, the man wearing a number 11. Dorgan, no one went with him. Colin McAvoy stood back from so did Kevin Swain. Ben Dorgan has won that, and he's blocked now by Kieran McAvoy. That block from McAvoy is giving Portlaoise back possession of the ball. Colin McAvoy this time has it. Plenty of Kieran McAvoy and Colin McAvoy, but this time it was Colin. Out to Kevin Swain, and Portlaoise are busy. They're always looking for that ball, Donnchadh.
Yeah, they're hungry for it, and they're attacking the ball at pace. Greg tried a bunch and break there to kick out, and it didn't work then, but he had to go long. They still caught it, but it's they're trying bunch and break as one of their mechanisms. They're holding back Mikey Horgan there as Horan, I should say, as a sweeper as such.
Yes, so Portlaoise through Ben Redden, as they've done so many times in the first 31 minutes of the game, held onto the ball, looked for that hole through the defence, and then went at the attacking through an angle as well. And Lee Walker put a heavy hit on Damon Larkin, but Larkin happy enough to go by that challenge. And David Steele, Mikey Dowling and Garrett Dillon, the ball has gone through their hands in the last 10 seconds or so, and up comes number 2, who is Ben Dempsey. And Graiguecullen have 13 players behind the ball. The only players up in their own half is Jack Byrne and Aaron Forbes, and Kevin Swain now has to go back into the Portlaoise half, and Conor Brown is there to need him for assistance if he does, but Benny Carroll is out here in front of us, here in the front of the stand, looking for the ball. Seal might pick him out now, and back to the goalkeeper Brown does pick up Benny Carroll. First thing he looked before he even got the ball was see what was on inside. Nothing was on, and Benny Carroll is happy enough, and Conor Brown and Portlaoise are just playing a bit of keep ball. See Kevin Fitzpatrick beckoning his charges to make the run over onto the terrace side of the field, because that's where they wanted the ball. Try to stretch Graiguecullen if they can. Kevin Swain was the one that led that instruction, and he's over now. He carries the ball. Now he carries the ball up to the 45. Might try and look for a runner through the middle. That runner's Garrett Dillon. Garrett Dillon took it off his shoulder. Dillon picked up by Owen Aylesbury. Dillon has to check back, and he checks back to his centre back, who's David Seal. Seal out to Ricky Marr. Ricky Marr now looks to Jink. Ricky was looking again to his right boot if he can. Didn't hold on to the ball, was able to win it back. Kieran McAvoy has it now. Garrett Dillon. Benny Carroll is free over just in front of us here, in front of the Graiguecullen management if they need him, and there it goes. And that leaves the ball to Benny Carroll, directing operations before he even got that ball done. Okay, they're just so well, you said to me at half time, they're so well coached, they know where that ball is to go.
Yeah, the moves are off, and the second move is on before the first one happens even.
Yeah, Mikey Dowling with a shot. I'm not sure whether Mikey Dowling now would be too fond of shooting, but he is out to the right hand side and wide.
That's a little bit un-Portlaoise like for the way they're playing.
And Kevin Fitzpatrick's probably not happy because they gave the ball away, but they're giving a chance for Graiguecullen now.
At that time you said about him pointing to Kevin Swain, he was trying to get him to an angle so he could get the ball across to him safely on the far side and then attack down that channel that was wide open.
Now, Danny Marr, the goalkeeper, goes long with that. He slipped, but there's Kieran McAvoy. Graiguecullen haven't got any joy from it. Benny Carroll has it now. Benny Carroll has received the ball at the 45. Here's into Damon Larkin. He's hit. Good tackle by Mikey Horn and Damon Larkin. But that's the Graiguecullen not getting any joy in midfield. Kieran McAvoy's playing very well in there.
I would say Graiguecullen not getting any joy anywhere. Like Portlaoise are literally playing a game of piggy in the middle with them here, passing the ball around. And if they're not going to win their own kickouts, they're going to struggle. Starving them for possession is what Portlaoise are doing.
Yeah, see, Danny Maher back on instructions. I think he's looking for them to make that run to the side for the kick out as well, because he has to put them down the middle and they're not having any joy. This time they switch the play over to the far side and they look to attack now from the terrace side of the field. Mikey Horn, wearing number 7, has it. He's up past halfway, he's up into the Portlaoise half and not much on. Jack Byrne and Aaron Forbes are the 2 inside, and they might try and get a little bit joy if they can, but the ball is falling away and Portlaoise are there to tackle. They have won a free though. Referee has given advantage. Shane O'Neill has it now. No advantage coming, I don't think. There isn't, no. And referee Michael Tarpey has given the free in, and chance maybe now just to have that little bit of a breeze. It has died down a bit, and it's kind of a swirling breeze. It's not really giving them much advantage at all.
Well, and we thought it was blown from our right to left earlier. If you look at the flags the first side,
they've changed. Looks like right. Changed, yeah. So Conor Kelly is going to be the player who has stand over this. He has 9 points in the championship, and he'll look to make it 10 where he goes short with this one to Jack Byrne. Jack Byrne now picks it up out to Lee Walker. Lee Walker hasn't really had much joy in this game so far. He was hit with a heavy tackle. He has to recycle the ball back to Ben Dorgan. Now it's Daniel O'Reilly. He got the ball out to Dorgan's left. Jamie Sheen is there as well, bellowing for the ball, but Daniel O'Reilly to Forbes. Forbes might have a shot. He's tackled heavy, high tackle according to referee from David Seal. Sure it'll go for this one.
They need to put something on the board. Just need to keep that scoreboard ticking for themselves. They can it all.
37 and a half minutes gone. 1-9 to Portlaoise. 2 goals to Graiguecullen. Graiguecullen have hit Conor 4 Kelly. Wides as well.
They have, yeah. Conor Kelly standing over this now. He's been their go-to free taker for the last number of years.
Yeah, so Conor Kelly stands over this out to the right-hand side and wide. When it's just not happening, it's not happening.
Yeah, they need those. They need those. We're on double scores now at the moment.
So Portlaoise through. Josh Hogan, the new man in, he replaced Paul Cahalan at the break, and we would imagine it's an injury. We do know that Paul Cahalan did pick up an injury in the O'Dempsey's game in the quarter-final, so could be a bit of a recurrence of that. Josh Hogan now, he's got his hands on plenty of possession in the last 8.5 minutes or so since he came on. Gives it to Garrett Dillon. Garrett Dillon, they have options over the far side maybe. Garrett Dillon though loses the ball. Lee Walker, heavy hit on Lee Walker. He's won a free and looking for the option inside. Jack Byrne is looking to play it in high. Jack Byrne says give it to me, and Lee Walker was a little bit slow with that, but look for options to Mark Timmins. Timmins playing up the free a little bit. Walker now back to Ben Dorgan, and there's a free inside, and there's a bit of holding inside. Mikey Dowling, the referee has said, was holding Jack Byrne. Jack Byrne was looking for Lee Walker just off the corner right for that ball to be drove into him, and Lee Walker just wasn't able to get the ball in, but they've won a free and another chance maybe to finally raise a white flag, Donegal.
Yeah, they need something on the board now. You know, we're at 38 minutes. They're going to make inroads now. They need to start grinding into this game. Mark Timmins, as you say, is moving up the field a bit more now. They have to. Their championship lives are at stake now.
Yeah, Timmins is operating in the centre forward position at the moment, so that score has been converted by Conor Kelly. So the first white flag of the day for Jason Ryan's outfit in his first year, of course, at the club. And Ken Fitzpatrick, who played all his club football with his an experienced club player, member of the Laois team in 2003 as well, and he's now their manager in his 4th season, so he knows these players like off the back of his hand. Versus Jason Ryan, he's only in his first season with his side, and they're looking to reach a final that they were last in 2020, which was eventually played in 2021 due to COVID. So we're back on the way. Aidan McGovern under a little bit of pressure from Jack Byrne. Jack Byrne is a judge to have fouled him according to the referee Tarpey, and Portlaoise will probably try to slow it down a bit again.
They're going to, as you said there before the match, you know, they bring the game to they control the tempo basically. They'll bring it wherever they need to bring it, and they'll know, very aware there's 20 minutes left on the clock, and they'll see out the game, and they're comfortable enough to be up by a point or up by 10 points.
Yeah, they've got underway straight away through Kieran McFly. He made a run through the middle. Ben Dorgan tackles him. Referee was happy enough to let it go. And here's David Seal on the ball now from the centre back position. Seal looks at that pass inside to Ricky Marr. Ricky Marr has it. He's been a live wire in there. He's been very, very dangerous. Look to get out to his right boot. Ricky Marr onto the right boot. And from my angle, it's going to be close. And we'll see. Umpires have waved it wide. Very, very tight.
I'd look to point from here. I would suggest our angle is quite good.
Yeah, we were directly underneath it. We might be able to have a quick look at it here again on the screen in front of us. It was very high. And
it slipped past the the blue mark on top of the post.
He did, yeah.
Look, the umpire is there. He saw it. He's given it as wide.
Yeah, Frank Flanagan is coming on for Portlaoise. He replaces Mikey Dowling, and Brian Byrne is coming on for Graiguecullen, and I think he's going to replace Aaron Forbes. Yeah. So Aaron Forbes is the player who makes way for Graiguecullen. Brian Byrne has gone in on top of Aidan McGovern, so Graiguecullen might be just looking for a little bit of pace inside now again. Shane O'Neill has won the kick out to Lee Walker. Walker now, in first time all game, he's got this much space, and Brian Byrne is looking for him. Brian Byrne just onto the field, picked up a horrific injury playing for the county, and he is on his first march, and he's through Aidan McGovern, Frank Flanagan there as well, and that's the impact. I just said just before he got the ball, they might be looking for a little bit more pace inside, and he definitely offered that, Donica.
Well, there's been a sudden injection of pace and impetus in the way Greg have gone about that one. Anyway, let's see, do they continue it? But it's amounted to a free. If Conor Kelly can convert this now, suddenly there's 4 points in it.
No, so Conor Kelly stands over this. As I said, Frank Flanagan has made his way onto the Portlaoise team as well. He replaced Mikey Dowling, and Brian Byrne replaces Aaron Forbes. So a chance for Graiguecullen. And it's the second white flag of the game. It is, and just giving themselves that little bit of light again. Reduces the margin. 1-9 is 12 and 2-2 is 8. Back to a 4-point game. 42 and a half minutes on the clock.
Portlaoise, they're not keeping the scoreboard ticking now in this last period. This is Greg's best.
Yeah, lovely bit of footwork from Damon Larkin over on the far side. He released the ball to Ben Redden. Something you might see on Match of the Day on a Saturday night, but Portlaoise don't mind there in possession of the ball. Ben Redden able to work back with the goalkeeper Conor Brown, and Josh Hogan, who is definitely not playing in the Paul Cahalane position, because Josh Hogan is just about to receive the ball in the corner back position and looking to release Kevin Swain if he can. Swain got away from the tackle of his marker, and Swain has been heavily tackled by Mikey Horn, and he was fouled as well. And definitely a foul. Kevin Swain tried to get away. Mikey Horn done his best to hold him, and Portlaoise will just keep that ball again, Donica.
Keeping that ball, mind possession. They could do with attacking a few more on if they want to stay comfortable in this game. I know I've said that they're happy to win by 1 point.
Yeah, Ben Dempsey there, he hauled to ground by Lee Walker, but the referee said play on. David Seal has it, and Kevin Swain and Colin McAvoy all pick up possessions as well. McAvoy gives the hand pass over to Aidan McGovern, the full back wearing number 3. He gives it back to Colin McAvoy again. McAvoy now breaks into the 45. Ben Redden is on his own over on the far side of the terrace, and Ricky Marr is there as well. Now he gives the ball to Ricky Marr, takes on Sean McGrath. Look to run at Sean McGrath. Well done Sean McGrath. He needed to do that, and he done it well, and Graiguecullen are on the attack. Our score here now would definitely liven up the fan base, and there's plenty of bodies. Greg are trying to race forward. Mark Timmins to Conor Kelly. Conor Kelly is looking for the options, and Shane O'Neill has it now, and Owen Aylesbury, and the two inside, one is Jack Byrne and one is Brian Byrne, playing just in a stack in front of each other. Owen Aylesbury now to Trevor Collins. Graiguecullen definitely starting to move a little bit more up the field. Collins looking for options. One of them is Mikey Horn. Collins again. 1-2 with Owen Aylesbury. Plenty of bodies looking for it. Brian Byrne is now on the ball. Byrne made an instant impact when he came off the sub bench, and here comes Trevor Collins, the captain. Right foot of effort from Trevor Collins. It's good. Good score from Graiguecullen. Back in the game, Donica.
Back in the game. Starting to play, starting to move, energy on the ball, people running off the ball. 2 and 3, 4 loops going on there. Finally waking up.
And it all came from that tackle, that dispossession from Sean McGrath and Ricky Marr.
It did.
So Portlaoise are on the attack again. Benny Carroll, they'll need a score to keep that advantage if they can. It's a great ball from Benny Carroll on top of Ricky Marr, and Daniel O'Reilly unable to win it. Ricky Marr goes early with the pass out to Damon Larkin. Larkin being picked up by Jamie Sheen. Larkin turns Jamie Sheen. Larkin needs a bit of help, I would imagine. Onto the right boot, and it's blocked down. Great block down from Jamie Sheen. Portlaoise trying to get back possession, trying to get themselves back on the board, and they do. And I think it's from the boot of Colin McAvoy.
I think it's Colin McAvoy, yeah.
First score again for Colin McAvoy. He's been lively as well, so nice for him to get on the board. They needed that, Portlaoise.
Good answer from, they needed it. That's right.
So the kick out goes short, a little bit wayward over there. Was it on the ground? The referee has said it is. It's either a line ball or it's going to be a free, I would imagine.
Tom Kennedy, linesman, has his flag up.
So we'll just see. Referee Mick Tarpey, I think, is going over just to check. It's a line ball. Looks to be. Benny Carroll takes it. He takes it quick to Kieran McAvoy. So Portlaoise don't have anyone in around the full forward line at all, but they'll be happy enough just to hold this possession again. Colin McAvoy, the latest scorer in the Portlaoise team, has on possession. He's picked up by Jamie Sheen. Back out to Kevin Swain. Ben Redden is here in front of him. He's that pass inside door to Frank Flanagan. Flanagan to Kieran McAvoy. McAvoy in a right foot, a kick from Kieran McAvoy. Wonderful response from Portlaoise.
Yeah, they're back up and running again. They kind of... Greg had a bit of a purple patch there. I'd like to think they'll have more of a purple patch and see out this game now.
Yeah, McAvoy, the dual player, of course, he'll be a very important hurler for Tommy Fitzgerald's side in the Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship taking place over the next couple of weeks. Line ball, says the linesman Eugene Dowden, a Graiguecullen ball. Conor Kelly quickly looking to take it. There's a player inside, down inside, and Graiguecullen are happy enough just to get back underway again through Shane O'Neill. Shane O'Neill to Owen Aylesbury. Jack Byrne was that player that hit the deck. He's back up. He's been picked up by Ben Dempsey now. So Ben Dempsey onto Jack Byrne. Daniel O'Reilly over in the Terrace Parkside Apartments side of the field, as we call it here. Daniel O'Reilly does dispossessed, heavy tackle going in over the far side. Portlaoise come away with it again. Now Kevin Swain has it, and is it a bit high for him, but Ben Redden is there to pick up the pieces, and he does well, but fortunately for him there was two Graiguecullen men around him, and Aaron Dorgan has it now. They looked like Aaron Dorgan just gave it away then as well. Frank Flanagan was there to cut out that pass. Kevin Swain back out to Kieran McAvoy to Frank Flanagan again, and they have a player over on the far side just able to get themselves back up and running again. And Benny Carroll, as he has all during the match, he's looking for the ball. He's on our side, and then he's over the far side. He's everywhere. Yeah,
and he's very, very aware of where they are on the field at the time, what they need to do, where they're moving the defence to. There's a lot of basketball in Benny's past, and you can see that awareness, that court awareness in him.
Yeah. Basketballer for Portlaoise Panthers, of course. Kevin Swain onto it. Onto the left boot is Kevin Swain. He had advantage. Referee has given advantage. And it's a fantastic score from Kevin Swain. 3 in a row from Portlaoise.
Yeah.
Back in control again.
Back in control.
1-12 to 2-3.
Am I right in saying that that's all from play?
Paul Callahan with 2 frees.
Frees early, other than that,
everything is from play, yeah. David Seal, Kieran McAvoy, Kevin Swain, Benny Carroll, Damon Larkin and Ricky Marr. So we're back underway. Graiguecullen will need an answer to that now again. They look to be back in it for a couple of moments, but Portlaoise have cut that out with 3 very good scores. Pass inside to Brian Byrne, the man who came on as a sub in place of Aaron Forbes. He's definitely lively in there. He's got a couple of passes to Jack Byrne. Jack Byrne has Conor Kelly free. Conor Kelly picks it up now on the 45. Conor Kelly with a right foot of effort from Conor Kelly. And it's a good score from Conor Kelly.
Score.
No, and that's Conor Kelly's last action of the game, because Jamie Murphy wearing 23 is going to replace him.
23 for Portlaoise.
Jason Marr. Yeah, so Garrett Dillon has been replaced by Jason Marr for Portlaoise. Garrett Dillon
run his socks off, to be fair.
Absolutely. He's carrying an Achilles injury throughout the entire championship. Came on against the Dempseys and they've got 49 or and a half minutes or so out of him here today, and they'll be hoping that he gets even longer term of training for a county final maybe in 2 weeks, but a bit of work to do yet. 11 minutes or so of the game remaining, and Portlaoise in control at the minute. Jason Marr, first bit of action for him, being picked up by Owen Aylesbury, heavily tackled there by Trevor Collins, and it's over carrying according to Michael Tarpey. And welcome to the game, says Graiguecullen.
Yeah. It's championship football. Their number, who's their 21 is Luke Aylesbury is in trouble there off the ball.
No, so Jack Byrne, a long way away from home. He's between the 45 and the 65. Has to get up to the 45. A couple of players there that he's trying to get away from. And Aaron Dorgan to Ben Dorgan. Ben Dorgan. Jack Byrne has it again and looks to come back to him. It is. And look to punch a couple of holes inside. To see the new man has gone in there, Jamie Murphy. And he is on the ball now for the first time in the game. So he's going to, and he gives it to Lee Walker. Lee Walker's been the quietest he's been so far in the third championship, but he's been well picked up by the Portlaoise backline. Brian Byrne now has it. Brian Byrne takes on Josh Hogan. Aidan McGovern's there as well, but the 2 Portlaoise players stand him up to do very well. And Graiguecullen now have the ball out on the sideline. We'll see where it's gone, and it's a Graiguecullen ball, says the linesman. Good defence from Portlaoise again, Donncha.
Yeah. You see, you said there's the 2 Portlaoisemen. They always have 2 when they're trying to break in there. They're getting 2 to that place. I see Kieran Ellis. He's on the sideline there. He gave an old pat in the back to McGovern there, and they're saying fair play, well done. for the work he's doing.
Yeah, Benny Carroll has put out that pass. That pass was to Trevor Collins. It didn't reach him, and Damon Larkin has now picked up by Trevor Collins. Referee has given advantage. Larkin was fouled by Trevor Collins, and the referee has brought play back. Will we see Kieran Lillis, or do you just hold him in reserve, and if you can see without him?
Well, if they can get by without him, I'd say hold him. If he has an injury that he needs. I see him talking to Benny, telling him to slow it down, calm the whole thing down. They're in the driving seat here.
Yeah, they are indeed. He's warming up, and he's talking with the Portlaoise management of the team again. Benny Carroll has gone short with the free to Colin McAvoy. Colin McAvoy get back to Carroll, and Carroll now will probably look to recycle play over to switch position over to the other side of the field. Frank Flanagan has it now, and time ticks away. 51 and a half minutes gone. Portlaoise 1-12 is 15. Graiguecullen 2-4, which is 6 and 4 is 10. So 5-point lead for the town side, and the team that have been so dominant in Laois club football over the years. That dominance has ended in the last 3 years or so by Port Arlington's emergence, but as we always say, Portlaoise are never too far away from county final day, and at the minute they're 8 minutes or so away from booking their place again in the Delaney Cup final in 2 weeks' time. Conor Brown with a kick pass inside to Larkin just goes too far, and they're maybe hoping that...
Tomas, you were saying there's 8 minutes left. Like, are Grey going to wait until 2 minutes or until injury time to push for this game and go at it? Like, they've nothing to lose right now.
No, absolutely not. Sean McGrath done very well there, and he gave the pass to Daniel O'Reilly. He looked to go up the field, but the management team told him to stay back and mind the house. Lee Walker has it inside. He's so far away from goals. I'd say it's a frustrating game for him today, because he's so much joy in the other games. 23 over there is Jamie Murphy. Murphy back to Ben Dorgan, and Jamie Sheen joins the action if they want, and Sheen now has the ball. Ben Redden is there as well for the trying to...
There's no width to...
No, there's not. They're draw stuck in one kind of area. Trevor Collins has it now. Collins up to the edge of the D, looking for a shooter. The shooter could be Brian Byrne. Brian Byrne with a score, a good score from Brian Byrne. Badly needed.
Badly. But they're attacking very narrow there. It makes it easier for Portlaoise to defend that.
And Portlaoise go with the kick out to Damon Larkin. Sean McGrath is there picking him up, and Larkin has won the ball. Portlaoise have bodies up now, and Graiguecullen have hit plenty of bodies forward, but now they have to come back. David Seal had made his way up, and he's inside the Graiguecullen 45. Pass inside to Ricky Marr. Ricky Marr putting a bit of pressure to Jason Marr. Jason Marr with a goal chance maybe, or maybe a point from Jason Marr. Good score, good play from Portlaoise. David Seal to Ricky Marr to Jason Marr. Ball over the bar, and here comes Kieran Lillis, possibly maybe to see the game out.
It's great to see him on the field. It's coming off. I think it's Colin McAvoy, is it? It's coming out.
Yeah, it's Colin McAvoy wearing number 7. He had a very good game as well. He was on the scoreboard as well. So Kieran Lillis is on the field, and time is ticking away. 6 minutes of normal time. There hasn't been that many stoppages. We'll shortly get a man of the match off you, Donica, but we'll wait a couple of moments, because I'm sure the game could turn in next 6 minutes or so. We'll see. Graiguecullen needs something fairly fast if they're to come back to county final day and try and get their hands back on that Delaney Cup. It's a long time. 1965 club, a huge proud tradition and a history. It's a long time for them. That success has just edged away at them, and that might have thought that this was the year, but at the minute they're trailing in the semi-final, and time is ticking away. They need something shortly. Lee Walker, he's a man that might get them something. Top scorer for the minute championship. He solos the ball onto the left and onto the right, and he looks inside, and all he sees is white jerseys inside, and Graiguecullen have to come. Brian Byrne back to Dorgan up to the 45 and trying to stand up. Josh Hogan is there, and now Trevor Collins, and you said it's very narrow.
Yeah, open it up. Portlaoise are very good at opening up the space, whereas Greg are making it difficult himself. I see Ben Dorgan coming across this side now, opening up. Like, that's a centre forward is in a great shooting position if they'll switch to play now. Yeah,
I don't think they've spotted him, but maybe Aaron Dorgan maybe spots him, but no, because Ben Redden has just made his way to cut out that space. Sean McGrath has it now over the far side. Daniel O'Reilly, he's going to put a high one in around the house, but there's plenty of bodies there. Stop man Benny Carroll again, and he's been absolutely fantastic. Kieran McAvoy has it. Kieran Lillis is who's left, and so that pass to Lillis just a little bit in front of Kieran Lillis. He wasn't able to stretch, and Graiguecullen have it now. They have a few bodies forward if they can, but Kevin Swain is back tackling. Back to Shane O'Neill. Shane O'Neill has it, and out to Owen Aylesbury over on the far side. Brian Byrne. Brian Byrne has definitely added a little bit of emphasis to the forwards.
Oh, absolutely. Brian Byrne has brought a lot of danger and energy and life to the Graig attack.
And Trevor Collins lining up a shot there. It's a bit of keep ball from Graiguecullen now because they're trying to work themselves into a scoring range. Portlaoise 14 behind the ball. High ball in from Jack Byrne. Don't think it's going to meet it. Intended target inside, and it just. And Frank Flanagan is able to come away with it, and they'll just come away now. Yeah, they've run out of the. Kieran Lillis has attacked by Lee Walker. Lillis under a bit of pressure. 3 or 4 Graiguecullen players around him. Lee Walker's there battling away. Ben Dorgan's battling away, and the referee Mick Tarpey is adjudged that Kieran Lillis was fouled. And I can see Kevin Swain telling the backs to make use of that space. We're very clogged ourselves. So.
Yeah, you ended up nearly all run into each other there.
Yeah. And I see Graiguecullen have Michael Hand warming up. There's only one place he's going, and that's in the top of the square.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, like their attack space is narrow, and they end up moving around and run out of ideas. Then just try to kick a high ball in is what. And it wasn't even an accurate high ball in that time from Jack Byrne. So
Portlaoise are on that hack again. I see.
Look at Swain go. Look at him go.
Yeah, Kevin Swain is to the right of Damon Larkin. Swain is through and goal. He's straight through and goal. Is there a goal chance? No, he goes, tips it over the bar. Good score from Kevin Swain. Savage run through the middle of the field. Second of the game for the number 10.
That's off the right. He kicked a monster off the left earlier.
So we're back underway again. Mark Timmins takes the ball. Flares have gone off in O'Moore Park here as well, because you can see that the ultras, as they call, there's a couple of flares after going off somewhere along the line anyways, because
you can smell them. We
can smell it and we can see it on the beach. So anyways, back to the action. Jamie Sheen has it up to the 45. Tackle hard by Ricky Marr, and now Trevor Collins has it. Time ticks away. 2 minutes.
Walker's looking for it.
Lee Walker has it. Ricky Marr working very hard, very back. Lee Walker to the left hand side. He ballooned it up into the air, but referee Mick Tarpey's decided that there was a free and a chance maybe to reduce the margin. So Michael Hand wearing number 31, a veteran.
A veteran and a big man, big man. I'd imagine you'll have someone like Kieran McFoyle follow him into the edge of the square now and tussle it out with him for the last few minutes.
Yeah,
it's one thing getting the ball into a fella that height, but it's another thing when he lands on the ground. What can get to happen then?
Yeah, so we'll see who goes into him. But at this stage, anyways, Brian Byrne has a free. So Brian Byrne has a free. I think it's Frank Flanagan that's picking him up there inside at the moment. Anyways, Mark Timmins has it now. Mark Timmins is up to the edge of the D. Pass inside to Aaron Dorgan. Aaron Dorgan tried to get onto his right boot. Right boot effort from Aaron Dorgan. That's a good score.
Like they're pushing for the game now, and I would ask why would they not push for the 10 minutes though? You know, like now it's the desperation stuff.
Yeah. We're a minute to go, 59 minutes. Portlaoise 1-14 is 17. Graiguecullen 2-6, 6 and 6 is 12. So 5-point game. Benny Carroll gets it again. Any idea of a man of the match, Donnchadh? Are we a little bit closer to it?
Yeah, we're closer to it, all right. It's tough. I tell you, it's more a team of the match. Portlaoise have given a very accomplished all-round performance. Benny Carroll has been on Lillis with his customary point.
Yeah, Kieran Lillis just on for the last couple of minutes. Didn't start, and he's put 6 points between the teams. 2 minutes of additional time. So
Benny Carroll has been conducting the orchestra out there all day.
He's brilliant.
Damon, serious powerful stuff, but a fella who just goes to the well and works. Kick 2 points to the Kevin Swain for me is my man of the match.
So Kevin Swain is Clubber TV man of the match from our first game. So I think he was man of the match the last day as well. Yeah. He's definitely a player in good form. Portlaoise now looking to see it out for the last minute or two, just minute and a half or so. Ben Redden, they'll look to keep ball, nothing silly or stupid now at this stage. I see number 22 Ronan McAvoy getting ready to come onto the pitch as well, so it's just to slow things down again. And Mikey Horn is there working away, trying to get possession back for Graiguecullen, and that's a poor ball. Portlaoise have given the pass away, but then Graiguecullen have also decided to give it away through Aaron Dorgan. And the flares are going off big time here in O'Moore Park, just in the stand to our right of the stand, and it's hard to see out in the field, but We're still underway, and Portlaoise are looking for another score. They're in complete control. Ricky Marr is free. They might go look for the goal if they can. Ricky Marr might go for a goal. Ricky Marr have a shot. Oh, he's blocked and just had a little bit too much time on that Ricky Marr. And Daniel O'Reilly now has a time ticks away. It looks like Portlaoise are going to reach another final, and they're only going to be 60 minutes away then again from claiming the Delaney Cup, and their opponents will be Port Arlington or St. Joseph's, so teams that they've a huge rivalry with over the years as well. So
you see the Greg Ultra's been walked out of the stand.
So, and Ricky Marr is the player who's going to make way for Portlaoise. It's a very, very good game by Ricky Marr. He's been replaced by Ronan McFly. Graiguecullen are also bringing on a sub. Lee Nolan, wearing number 28. He replaces Aaron Dorgan. So both teams just giving a run to a couple of players in the last couple of moments or so. 20 seconds or so remain. Portlaoise are going to be in county final then 2 weeks' time. Big ball around the air. Oh. And it looks to be Lee Walker who was the player that got what's the number? Mikey Horan. So Mikey Horan, big ball into the end.
Ball worked. Was it a little bit too late?
A little bit too late, he's right. 3-6 to 1:15. The 2 minutes has elapsed, so we will see is there anything that's
a goal in it.
Will he allow another kick out? Because if he does, it could make things interesting. Conor Brown goes long and he does allow another kick out, so and we'll see where he's gone. Oh, it's a free. It's a free to Portlaoise. No signal from the referee. And he just put his hand on his head. No one knew where it was going, but Portlaoise have picked up the ball. Kieran Lillis, you'd imagine that's enough now, Donica, just to see them through, because we're gone over that 2 minute mark.
Keep the ball. Ben Dempsey's taking them on here. He needs support. Mack has gone on a run. Lillis will keep the head, keep the ball. Get himself into position.
We're still underway. The referee's looking at his watch. Has time going to elapse. Graiguecullen, and he's overturned it.
Free for O'Carry now.
Free for O'Carry and Graiguecullen. I see Tomas Brett, the selector, looking for to get all the bodies forward as much as they can. Is there going to be enough time to do that? Damon Larkin's having a conversation with the referee saying time is up. But the signal at least I think the important word of it is at least 2 minutes. I don't think people realise that.
Forget that pitch sometimes.
There wasn't many stoppages in the injury time.
Well, if you're winning, you want it.
Yeah. So Michael Hand is in around the house. Graiguecullen with the last chance, just a 3 in the difference. Can they put it in? Look at this. Time it ticks away. Lee Nolan now puts it in around the house. Lee Nolan. Michael Hand is in there. Hand has won it. He's lost it though, has he? And there's a lot of bodies in around there. Who has won it? And no one sees the play is underway. Hand still has it, I think. Was he fouled for a penalty? It's over carrying, Sister Ref. And that's surely that's that.
He's not giving penalty anyway.
No, I don't even think Michael Hand is looking for it.
He's going in to talk to his umpire anyway. He's calling the 2 umpires over.
So drama, just when we thought that the game was done, and just
it looked every bit.
It did. We'll just see what happens here from this now. So, bit of conversation between the 2 umpires. Mark Timmins is there, Kieran Lillis is there, Brian Byrne is there. I presume they're all giving their own opinions on it.
Sure to have.
We'll just see.
It's all over.
It's all over. Yeah, it's all over. It looks to be all over.